Hi yo, so definitely everybody is interested in this soap. See the things I teach free, I teach it freely from the depth of my heart and I show you the measurement, the procedure from beginning to end. That is why you need to stick to my channel. Either you are seeing me on my YouTube page or Facebook page, you need to actually subscribe because you will learn a whole lot of things from me for free. I have whole lots of trainings on hair care products, skincare products, household cleaning agents that if you scroll through my page or my wall, you will see something that will interest you. So everybody kept messaging me, please, that green soap you posted yesterday on your Facebook, please, I want to see how you made it. I'm actually waiting for the video. Once you upload, please help me and tag me. So today, let me just show you people how to make this soap. This is actually a sponsored video, and as we go into the video I will explain more. So you need to use 1 liter of your tap water, 1 liter, to dissolve your 250 grams of sodium sulfate. I know you'll be wondering, why am I using sodium sulfate in this recipe, in this cold process recipe? It's not that sodium sulfate helps your soap to harden more quickly, but in this particular recipe, you can make this soap without sodium sulfate, or you can make it with or without it. This sodium sulfate can also be replaced with soda ash, the same quantity of 250 grams. Meanwhile, for the oils I'm using, that is why I said this video is sponsored. This oil, I got it as a gift from Uchegod Agro and Industrial Chemicals. He gave me these oils to pre-test for him and see if these oils are okay for making a cold process soap in case of the customers that would want to purchase. And yes, he sent me 3 liters and he said this is how he bottles 3 liters of his oil. I said okay, no problem, let's measure the oil first, all of us, and see actually if this oil is 3 liters as he said. One very big point you should note about cold process bar soap is that your lye solution, which is your caustic soda and your water, should cool down before using it to make your soap, to avoid your soap tracing up on you quickly or causing something like separation because of the type of oil you may use. Another thing you should know that is the oil should be a simple, clean, cold process palm kernel oil or a cold process oil. That way you will not have difficulty in making that soap. Oils like bleached palm oil, because they have sulfonic acid and hydrogen peroxide in them, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to use them for cold process. Immediately you add your caustic to it, they may tend to start thickening up. Now this is 550 grams of caustic soda dissolved in 1.5 liters of water, and the green cup contains the sodium sulfate. The next one was the silicate, and then the next one is our fragrance. Bear in mind that there are some fragrance you may use and it may tend to separate your batter. If you experience that, just put your soap on heat, a little bit it, and then it will come back together. Now the first thing you do is to add in your lye solution into your oil, mix properly, then going with the sodium sulfate. After the sodium sulfate, continue mixing, then going with your sodium silicate solution. The combination of sodium silicate and sodium sulfate will give you the hardness you desire and also the shininess you want. Sodium silicate in bar soap, it is necessary in bar soap making because it's not only that it offers hardness to your soap, but it also increases your volume because it is actually a liquid component. That means volume is involved. So it will also help your soap to shine. Now this is foam booster. Making bar soap with pure palm kernel oil does not necessarily need foaming booster, but you may need it in cold process because it will help to make your batter to be fluidy, and then you go in with your coloring. What I mean by this foam booster is, if you don't add it to the soap, it's okay, but when you add it, your batter will liquefy more. Your batter will be more fluidy so that you can easily pour it into your mold. That is what I mean by that statement. Secondly, there are some fragrance you add at this particular point and you start noticing that your oil is floating, but it may just take 1 minute or 2 minutes and the reaction will stop. Even though you notice it, no wahala, continue. Some fragrance are good in causing this. Lemon fragrance will not cause it. Something like lavender F may cause it. Even if you notice any separation in your soap, you can just place it on heat and before you know, it must have gotten back together, or you just cover your soap. It's not something you should be worried about. So it might not be your recipe or your formula. It can just be that extra additive fragrance. and it happens a lot with cold process. All the same, just pour your soap into your mold and then allow it, because it's cold process. Before you know it, this soap should be hard enough for you to even cut, or you can let it slide the next day you cut. Remember, we sell mini cutters, and our mini cutters are 50,000. It contains the cutter itself, which is a tabletop cutter, which I'm using here. I've been saying it in all my videos. It contains 2 mold, 1 stamp, and then a groover or a trimmer. If you use the first part of our cutter to cut your soap, you will have something like 14 logs, and then a very tiny trim out like this. What I mean by 14 logs is, one after the first cut you have 14 pieces of it. This is the small mold I'm using. This mold measurement is about, this is what I mean by 1 log. This mold measurement is about 12 inches by 16 inches. That is what I'm using. And then after which, you now move to your step 2 to cut the logs into tablets. Each log gives you 4 tablets. So when you multiply the 14 logs by 4 tablets, you should be able to get 56 bars. Now, from these 3 liters of oil, we got 56 bars of soap. Now, tell me, according to your own costs, with what we have used so far, very little ingredients, how much would you sell this soap? To me, I know this soap in the market, this size of soap in the market, something like the Wow, the small size, or the B29, F29, is 350 in the market. But there's no way you will sell your own 350. So you should be selling this size at least 250 to 300 naira. Your price should be lesser than what is being sold in the market. You understand? That's what I mean. So if you sell at something like 250 or 300 for this size, it's okay, depending on where you are. Remember, oil can be expensive in some part of Nigeria, and it can also be cheaper in some part of Nigeria. So where you are, you might get your oil as expensive as probably 3,000 naira per liter. Don't judge your own pricing with my pricing, no. Why some persons are getting their oil, palm kernel oil, as cheap as 1,800 naira per liter. Some are even getting it as gifts for their startup business. So everybody's pricing can never be the same. The recipe can be the same, but the price we all sell can actually differ. Now, if you want to go ahead and now trim your soap or clean the body, make sure everything is perfect. That one depends on you. Some of us has OCD. They want all their soaps to be as perfect as they want. Now, remember, in the cutter set you are buying from me that is 50,000 naira, that this particular item is in it, this groove. This groove help you to shaping your soap and give you that imperial leather kind of soap. We normally use it when we are making bathing soaps. If you want to use it, please don't worry. It is already in the set, and then with the stamp. For the stamp, you have to send me your initials for the stamp. Normally 4 to 6 letters is what I normally take, and then voila, we'll send your order to you. Each of these bags is around 118 grams to 120 grams. You can see it on my scale. So by now, what is holding you to click the like button and subscribe to my channel? Have you dropped that beautiful comment for me by now? And have you shared this video? Thank you all for sticking to the end of this video.